kind of my first year doing semi-serious part-time YouTube. In 18 videos, 222,000 views, which is crazy. 5,200 subscribers roughly, and just shy of 900 comments. What are the takeaways from this year for someone who's maybe thinking of starting a channel, or someone who's in the same boat as me, kind of in their first few months or years? So here's what I've learned. Maybe we'll move it inside. Might be a little warmer, more comfortable, or not. Rule number one, pay attention to current events. And the reason I say that is not to take advantage of current events to be able to get more views on trendy topics. The reason I say that is I made a video where I borrowed a $200 and something thousand car and got some friends to come along. With what? I'm gonna take it off.
We will not have any light in like 5 minutes.
We went out into the mountains and got fish and all this stuff. We made this complicated video. All these things went wrong. Okay, 2 fillets. Made a video that I thought was pretty entertaining. And you know what day I decided to post it? The morning of January 6th, 2021. And so nobody watched my video. So pay attention to current events. Don't try to compete with national uprisings. Your video won't do too well. That Komodo video is really the first blip on this channel, the big blip on this channel. I had 300 something subs before that, and after that video, I mean, that video alone got me like 1,500 subscribers. Something about that video, I think looking back on it, there's several factors. It was a camera that was in demand, it was back orders, so there was all this pent up demand, and I was making a video that I didn't see too much of online, which was a whole entire thing filmed on the Komodo. Not test footage, but like a thing, a piece.
Even not even just cars, parts. And if it's the right price, then it is what it is. Motor's gone, who cares? I'm rebuilding it.
Once that video did well, it kind of gave you motivation to say, okay, there's all these people who have watched my stupid face talk to this camera and they don't mind it so much, so maybe I should keep going with this. And if you just keep making stuff, one of those will eventually happen, assuming you are listening to feedback. And that's where the comments come in. They say don't read comments, and I think that's probably true for big accounts, because even a tiny fraction of trolls makes up a large quantity of negative comments, and our monkey brains are naturally going to gravitate towards the negative. I mean, just go spend 5 minutes on Twitter, you'll see the clusterfuck of hate that place has become. I think if you're small like me, then comments can be a great thing because it's feedback from strangers, and I think that's important. You know, whenever you make something, whether it's a video, a photo, a piece of music, a table, or an espresso blend, there's constantly this voice, or at least there should be, asking, is what I'm making actually any good? And this self-doubt is good, it's healthy. I think it's what drives improvement. I don't try to shut that voice up. I think if you're gonna make a living creating something, I think you just have to learn to live with that voice as long as it doesn't get completely out of hand where it becomes debilitating. And if you can't handle it and you constantly need affirmation, then maybe you have some growing up to do, because I think it's part of it. I think it's once you learn to live with that, just like I'm just constantly gonna doubt myself. And once you accept that, I think it becomes a lot more manageable, and if that makes any sense. Part of creation is figuring out what you like to create, and that comes from repetition and just trying different things. But then most of us, I would assume, I'm speaking to anyone who doesn't want their work to exist in a vacuum. You want people to interact with whatever it is that you make, and then for it to hopefully positively impact them. And it's a hard balance to strike of making what you want to make and have people enjoy watching it as well. Let's call this the content creation matrix. We've got a little quadrant here, 2 axes, you know, stuff you want to make and stuff you don't want to make, and stuff people want to watch and stuff people don't want to watch. And what I'm striving for is this top right corner where you're making something you want to make that people want to watch. I mean, that's the holy grail, right? And that's what I'm striving for, at least. Now, you can also end up here where you might not be super passionate about what you're making, but there's tons of demand for it and you're able to fill that demand, and you might not be super passionate about it, but maybe you can monetize it and support yourself and your family, then hey, all the power to you. Down in the bottom left corner, I don't know who occupies this, maybe like a creative masochist or something, because you're you're just making stuff you don't want to make and nobody wants to watch it, so I don't know who this would be. And then in the bottom right, that's like the thing we're most afraid of, right? Is It's like delusion. That's what that corner is you're making stuff that you want to make that nobody wants to watch. And I guess maybe you don't realize it. And that's where that external feedback is crucial, because then it's not self-indulgent. And so all the comments, good or bad, I thank you for contributing and engaging and subscribing and DMing and all those things. Those really mean a lot. And I think the best way to say thanks is just to keep making videos for whoever's enjoying them, and I will do so. It's the most fun when you make what you want, but it's certainly no fun if no one's watching it. So feedback can be a good thing. Sometimes you get lucky, and human connections can go a really long way. Feeling like you're not really doing great work is just fine, and perhaps even necessary. Just don't let it stop you.